I wonder what we look like to God when we're just focused on our problems. Wouldn't it be interesting to have God's view of us? I wonder if we look like this, if we have this small problem, I wonder if we look like this to God. Like we're going through life and we're just focused on this problem. I just can't believe it. It's just so hard. And God's like, really? Like, I'm just fight or flight. I don't know. It's just so hard. And God's like, really? But our problems aren't always this size, are they? A lot of times, our problems are more this size. And we look at our problems and we're like, wow, that is a big problem. I wonder when we have big problems if we look like this to God. We're just focused on our problem. We're walking around. My marriage, it's on the rocks. That's a big problem, isn't it? I'm struggling financially. That's a big problem. These are serious things. These are not little things. We have issues like our health that we can just focus on. We're like, I just can't believe that this is what's happening to my spouse. I can't believe that this is where I find myself in this hospital bed. And we just focus on these problems. And because of that, we don't see anything else around us. We miss God's goodness around us. We miss the people around us because we're fixated on our problems. I wonder if this is what we look like to God. How do we get a perspective shift? Because that's really what we need, isn't it? If this is what we're doing, it's not that there's not other stuff out there. It's not that our problem is all consuming. It's that we've got the wrong perspective. That we've put this thing right in front of us and we're missing everything else. And it doesn't mean that it's not big. It is big. But how do we get a different perspective? I wonder if we were able to just flip this and view our problem in the scale of eternity. Now I know this is a poor representation of eternity because eternity goes on forever, and this board doesn't. But let's just imagine that this is the scale of eternity. Where would your problem be? How big would your problem be on the scale of eternity? Even if it's a huge problem to you, in the scale of eternity, you might, with a microscope, find it right here. You might be able to find your problem there in the scale of eternity. What this means is that your problem can be big to you and small to God at the same time. Putting your problem in the scale of eternity does not diminish how big it is to you, how serious it is, or how difficult it is. It just puts it in perspective that in God's hands, it's small. That God can take care of it. The God who created this universe, the God who holds everything together, the God who sent Jesus because he loves you and raised him from the dead after he died on the cross, that God is holding your problem in his hands, and in his hands, it's small. He can handle it. We need that sort of perspective shift to go, you know what? This is a big problem, but in God's hands, it's small. He can take care of it. And then, friends, we can start looking through our problems and not just at them. It allows us to start seeing God all around us at work in our lives.